So today we're going to talk a little bit about home security, keeping your family members safe and keeping them from going to websites that you potentially don't want them to go to. Um, I looked up on ChatGPT just a simple breakdown of what this software is. This is something that I've used at work. I use it in my personal life. We've got it set up at the house. It's great. It's called AdGuard, and it does more than just block ads. So ChatGPT says AdGuard is a privacy and ad blocking tool that works across web browsers, apps, and even your entire device, depending on the version. Here's what it does. It blocks ads, removes banners, pop-ups, and video ads on websites and apps. It stops trackers, prevents companies from collecting your data across the web, protects your privacy, masks your IP address, and blocks malicious or phishing sites. Speeds up browsing. I don't know about this one. This is kind of a weird claim. This might just be ChatGPT doing its thing, but it claims to it claims that it can remove ads and trackers, which makes pages load faster. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, the server on the other end is still going to be trying to serve those ads. Filters DNS. Some versions can filter DNS requests to block unwanted content system-wide, including on smart TVs and mobile devices. So if you don't want your kids at home getting into websites that are for adults, this is what you should be setting up. I have a little site here called canyoublockitt.com. I don't know how safe this thing is, but it does show ads every so often. And supposedly, if you have an ad blocker on, you can test how good it is by refreshing the page and checking to see if it actually blocks the ads. So let's go ahead and download and install AdGuard. I don't want to purchase. I want to use the free one. There we go. And we'll click yes. So this is on my personal PC. I'm not using this on a VM or anything. I already used the Brave browser, which does a really good job of blocking ads. And I have an AdGuard server set up at the house. It's actually technically running off of a Docker container, but it protects the whole house. So you don't, by installing this software on your computer, you're technically only protecting this one device. If you're wanting to do it network-wide, I'll make another video a little bit later that will show you how to do that, but this is how you install it on your own computer. So we're going to create a desktop shortcut. Why not? And while we wait for this thing to load, we can come back here, refresh the page. I can show you how this, I do not know if this is a reputable website. With the security that I've got set up at my house, I'm not worried about it. If it attempts to download something to my desktop, I will know about it. But I just came into canyoublockitt.com, clicked start testing now, and then I picked the simplest one. And this is what a lot of web pages look like. Let's see, configure protection. Congratulations, AdGuard has been successfully installed and is protecting you from ads. Would you like to personalize protection? I don't know how far you can go down this road before they start getting into the paid version of AdGuard. For the most part, it's free. I just install it, walk away from it. We're going to try and leave it as is and see what happens. So we see here protection is enabled. You can get better ad blocking with HTTPS filtering. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and refresh this page. Yeah, server connection failed. So it looks like the ad can't get through. Go to the simple test. And I'm not seeing any ads popping up here. I mean, this is the website splash background. Yeah, it looks like we've blocked all of the ads. Very good. So we'll go ahead and close out of the AdGuard. We'll close out of the ad test, and then I'll just bring it up again, and we can kind of go through the settings in here and see what's customizable. Obviously, if you don't want it on all the time, you can toggle it on and off. They do have a browser AdGuard app widget, whatever you want to call it. I have used those before when I'm working on someone else's computer. So if we go into settings, we can see language, system theme, silent updates. If I were you, I'd just leave this on. I mean, you're trusting a company to do something, but at the same time, the operating system that I just opened up is I'm trusting them not to sell my information, and they're probably doing it. For the ad blocking, you can automatically activate language specific filters. You can also tell it to not block search ads and self promotion. Um, you can do all kinds of filters. For the most part, for everyday users, I just wouldn't touch all of this stuff. Tracking protection, currently it's off. You can turn it on. All it's going to do is keep cookies and stuff from being formed with your information in it. You can click block trackers, remove tracking parameters from URLs. I don't know if you see the stuff that comes after the domain name here. A lot of times there's things that are injected in these URLs that are they're used for tracking, essentially, to see what you're browsing to. Let's go ahead and make this full screen. You can send the signals to opt out of tracking. This is going to automatically respond to cookie requests, so you don't have to. It'll delete third-party cookies. You can also delete first-party cookies. This is something that they don't recommend doing, and I agree with this. This will automatically, every time that you leave a website that you had to log into, it'll automatically remove your login credentials, so your browser will no longer remember your login. So be careful turning this on unless you like typing in a username and password. And the rest of this is pretty well just kind of self-explanatory. It goes through and says, you know, you can hide or refer from third parties. We'll go on to browsing security. Tracking protection's got a lot of stuff built into it, though. So for your browsing security, you can get notified about blocked requests. So every time that every time that a request is blocked to a malicious or a phishing website, it will send you a notification. The way that this is set up is it just pops up down here in the corner. Enable sound notifications. If you get tired of hearing it, you still want to see it pop up, but you get tired of hearing, a ding every time that something tries to connect to your system, you can turn this off. And then this is something that I like about them a lot. Help AdGuard improve browsing security. They're asking you to use your information. They're not automatically gathering it. DNS protection. So this is one that protects you from ads trackers and threats at the DNS level, meaning if you don't want people to be able to go to certain websites, you can open the DNS filters editor and you can add, filter subscriptions. You can go through here and you can go to the homepage of these and see what sites they're recommending to block. I think this is one that we use at work. If we add the selected, it will now block the list of bad internet addresses that Steven decided to do. So if you look inside of here, whiz hump gyros, there's all kinds of stuff in here we probably don't want to see, but these are all sites that this group of people has deemed as bad. One thing to pay attention to, if you go through and add a whole bunch of filter lists, if a website that you use on a daily basis just automatically stops working, you should know that you need to come in here and search for that website. You can just uncheck it and tell it, hey, I want to allow this one. But that'll prevent you from not being able to get to sites. There is parental controls. You can do safe search. You can enforce safe search. So we come over here and turn it on, click safe search. Now for 90% of the browsers, and I don't think they can block everything for every browser, but for most of the browsers, so if you go to like Google search or you go to Bing or whatever, it forces safe search inside of those search engines. And I have had multiple searches on search engines. Let's just be clear about this, that you go to search for something and it returns something that is not safe for children or work. That is something that has to do with the algorithm of the company that you're searching from. That's Google's fault. That's Microsoft's fault with Bing. That's Yahoo's fault. If something happens to get through the parental controls, that's them not doing their job very well. It's not necessarily AdGuard. All this button does is tell it, hey, I want you to use the family version of whatever search engine you have. You can protect all your settings with a password. I don't know if this is necessary unless you're sharing a computer with someone else. There's a browser assistant. You can use the legacy version. I have Brave default. Oh, I don't have this extension actually put on this PC because I'm running the server at home. But in here, it can sense what browser you're in or what browser you're using, and it'll allow you to click that button to get the extension. If you look at the extensions, you can automatically detect user scripts. I believe this is something to protect you from having, like, say there's a piece of software that decides that it no longer wants AdGuard on the computer so that it can do bad things. It will detect that there's a script running that's trying to remove it, and it'll prevent it from uninstalling it. The only downside to this is if you're trying to use a script to automate the removal of this, say you're an IT person, you're trying to remove it from multiple devices, you need to come in and uncheck this on all of your devices. AdGuard Assistant, I've never used this before. It says it provides easy and convenient way to manage filtering right from the browser. That's cool and everything. I don't have it in the browser yet. We'll probably do another video to keep this one a little bit shorter on the AdGuard browser. And they also do have a mobile app as well. And there's a paid version that you can use where they offer their services to make sure that your house is safe. You don't have to come through and make a whole bunch of changes. You just pay for something that they've set up for you. You can use traffic filtering. You can also use it as an HTTP proxy. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. That's for quite a bit more advanced users. It can filter HTTPS. This I could go into so deep, but the web that everyone was used to growing up with ran off of HTTP. It was less secure, so they made HTTP secure. But it made it harder for things like applications on your computer to see what the HTTP request was because it's now secure. It's been encrypted. And unless you turn on certain features in a lot of applications, it can't actually read what's inside of your HTTPS request. So I would recommend having this on. Most traffic to reputable websites is done over HTTPS now. You can obviously put exclusions in there if you don't want it to read like Facebook or Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Proxy settings, you probably don't need to know about this. AdGuard VPN, it does offer a VPN. I personally don't use it. I have 2 other platforms that I pay for that have VPN built into them. But if you are traveling, say you put AdGuard on a laptop and you go, you fly to another city, this is something that would prevent you from easily being hacked on, like, say, the hotel Wi-Fi, or you stop at a McDonald's, you use their free Wi-Fi. This is something that I would recommend if you don't have anything else, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as my first go-to option. I would get a paid plan from someone. Typically, free VPNs are pretty slow. But yeah, that's the software. That's what it does. I toyed with potentially, oh, that's Brave. I want Firefox. I toyed with potentially mixing the browser app and the server setup all into the same video. I figure that's a little bit excessive though. That's going to be like a 4-hour video. So let me know if you like it. Throw a comment down below if you've used it before. If you haven't, you have any questions while you're setting it up, or you end up, blocking a website that you didn't intend to, just leave a comment in the video. I'll do my best to help you troubleshoot. Worst case scenario, turn it off, make sure that the website's still working, and then go through your settings like I just did and try and decipher, did I add, like a filter list that's blocking everything. Anyway, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. And leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Have a good evening.